All right, I'm going to be quick because I know we all want to hear about the Path Forward presentation. So I'm going to run through my slides and make sure I give as much time to Barb as possible.
Thank you.
We entered the new year with a renewed focus on our academics. This was the Regents Week, and we are looking at all the data, and I'm very happy to report that our students, particularly our students with disabilities, did exceptionally well in some of our exams, and I'm looking forward to sharing those at the end of the year once we get our June results as well. I want to thank Lorna Washington, who's in the audience. I recognize her every once in a while for her work with the focus on community engagement. We have a few events this month that I want to highlight. One is working with the connected communities and hiring parents within our Beechwood community and Emma communities to be parent ambassadors. They will work on communicating the 33 to East transition, as well as supporting our parents in the community with job readiness and making sure they have access to community resources. And so we hired parents within the community. I think we hired 3. Sorry? Hiring, all right. We hired some of the folks on recruitment, information sharing, and increased parent awareness and engagement. We also had a 9-week program in partnering with Ibero to support our Spanish dominant fathers and getting them to parents and getting them to be more engaged in school and figuring out how we can engage them more deeply and purposefully. I'm excited on the 20th for U of R King for a day voluntary event. We have community action fair that will be held at our school. Our food pantry is taking off. We're partnering with some local churches in the U of R to fill that. And I'll tell you that when we started the pantry, I wasn't certain what the need would be. It's literally empty almost every 2 weeks. And it's kids coming down at the end of the school day, getting feminine products and hygiene and food. And so I thank those local community agencies and churches for adopting our food pantry and working with Food Link at our food pantry to provide support for our students. Also on February 15th and 16th, we're going to have our play this year, Almost Maine. And we aggressively recruited students from Nepal and Somalia and Puerto Rico and some of our international students to be part of this performance. And so you'll see an eclectic group of individuals there. Finally, the state released our community schools grant, and I know folks like Michelle and others are working hard on that. And so we thank the district and the grants department and the New York State Education Department for finally releasing those funds. We are going to use our funds to do the following in expanding our community school model. We're going to have a dental suite with 3 dental chairs at East. And so we're going to have year-round support for our students with oral care. We did a study of our lower school students and found that over 40% of them had some type of severe dental issue. And so we're going to have a dental suite right on campus with the help with Eastman Institute of Oral Health. We also are working with Comet in the district. Aaron Groutman has been an incredible support here in trying to expand our optics program to include the Flom Eye Institute so we can coordinate efforts with all kids in the city. This is not just an East project. We prepared over 1,000 pair of glasses this year for all our CSD students. Now partnering with the U of R's Eye Institute, we hope to double that and support as many students as possible. We're working with the Greater Health Foundation around the social emotional supports and health. There's a report that I think I gave you in your board packet this month, or at least a link to an event that just happened around resiliency and trying to work with coordinating all the various health agencies so we can support our kids' social, emotional, and family needs. We also use the funding to expand our health and wellness. You will start to see advertisement in the spring for community wellness and health events. We increased the number of bikes, mountain bikes, and treadmills. And we're going to use the fields on our track to get more parents and kids from the community to come out on Saturdays and Sundays and in the evenings to participate in yoga and all type of things. You'll see a lot of advertising for that this spring. And the list goes on. And also we're going to have a barber suite in our school as well, and trying to support students with haircuts, partnering with some local barbering schools to have them do their practical experiences there. We're working through all the legal ramifications of that, but we're hoping that kids will be healthy and they'll look good and they'll feel good and be prepared for school. We've also had an extensive amount of work. Lorna's leading all of this, so I really should have Lorna do this presentation, not me, is doing the partnership and recruitment piece. She has worked with a number of resources in the community, right in the community, as well as those in our school, to have a host of events for parents. We had really good turnout. The most recent event for students who are entering grades 6 or grade 7, and also grade 9. The School Choice Expo was incredible. Barb, whoever put that together on your team, did a phenomenal job. It was great to be there. I thought the layout was perfect, and we got a chance to engage a lot of different parents, and seeing the kids perform on that bottom floor was absolutely incredible. And we also are we expanded our 6th grade basketball team to include 5th graders, mostly from 33, but also from the community, so they have an opportunity to play ball at East and with other schools. Our philanthropy efforts continue. We found another generous donor to pay for our 8th grade trip this year, another one that will send all of our kids to 8th grade to Washington, D.C. But we're also expanding the number of junior chaperones. Those are our juniors and seniors in our Teacher Leader Institute, or TLI, courses. They have to research D.C., research the routes, and then they'll serve as chaperones with the adults in D.C. And so they get a chance to teach. They also get a chance to be involved in that experience before they leave high school. But as they enter college, they'll take on some responsibility of supporting younger kids. And then the last 2 things I want to mention are the Steps to College update. This is a partnership from a funder who was interested in tracking or supporting kids going from grade 8 to grade 9, taking about 30 kids and new 30 kids every year and tracking them for 4 years, with the hopes that all 30 kids will be college ready, and they will get full scholarships if possible. So you'll have the 30 kids will take 4 years. They'll be on different campuses throughout Monroe County, and they're going to have some intense training. So when they enter college, they are familiar with the rigor, how to navigate campus life, how to advocate for oneself. And this year's session will be at the U of R's campus, but it will not always be at U of R. It's intended to hit all types of schools, both private and public, over their 4-year span, so they have an idea of what those choices are. And last but not least, I want to thank a host of partners. They're all on this list, including Ruth Turner, who represented the Rochester City School District, and the initial implementation task force Raising Resilience Conference. It was an incredible day. It was an incredible event. We got all of the major funders in the area alongside all the healthcare providers. And for 9 hours, we coordinated efforts around how to support students. So imagine a student who enters school who has been a victim of domestic violence, perhaps homeless, and has a learning disability. To date, it's really difficult to know how to service a kid like that with those multiple needs. This effort that we're taking on as a community, as Monroe County, is to start to coordinate that. So you would have this kid with those descriptors, and you would have a community initiative that would say this kid might best meet the services of these 3 organizations, and having a care provider support them and help them navigate through that system. It's something that we haven't done. We have a ton of resources in the community, but they're not aligned, and I'm really proud to co-chair that committee with Marty Lesnick from Blue Cross. And our efforts is to create some coherence between education and the medical community. And that's been a work that we've been established for about 2 years now. And so this is our first major event, and it was really well attended. It's actually sold out, so that was great. And last but certainly not least, I want to welcome our newest commissioners to the board. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of time to get to know one another further and to coordinate efforts. I'm very happy with the 3 people chosen. You see them in the community. I've seen them in the community for years and doing some incredible work. They definitely are hands-on type of leaders, and I think that's what we need. And each of you represent our community from within, from inside out. And I've seen each of you in many different settings. So thank you for taking on this enormous challenge of supporting all that we do here in our CSD. Mary, I got to tell you, Mary, I was thinking, what would I say if asked? And I thought of 2 words: accountability and autonomy. And I think those are things that the commissioners have provided us. Give us as much autonomy as we need to be creative in supporting our youth, but you hold us highly accountable, at least me, highly accountable for making sure that we deliver. And I have always appreciated your thoughtful questions, your very deep analysis. I think we all heard that many times. But I mean, it's not a criticism. you ask questions to get clarity, and there's a big difference there between criticism and asking for clarity. And so I always feel smarter when I'm seeking the answer to the questions that you ask, because it forces you to think about the system as a whole. So I'm going to miss that. I'm certain you're going to still be asking questions, and I'll keep providing answers. But I really do appreciate everything that you've done, and you've been a huge advocate for all kids, not just your own. And I look forward to many days at Rochester Street watching you around there and all throughout the community. So thank you, Mary, for all your help and your hurt.
Dr. Nelms, are there any questions for Dr. Nelms? I just have one, just for clarification. I told folks that I'm wearing my wife's Fisk shirt because it's college application time. FAFSA, is the deadline in June of 2018 to be eligible for aid for 2018-2019? Is that how it works?
I don't know exactly. I know FAFSA was. I know that financial aid was pushed back actually this year for parents. You could start to file in the fall. But I think, who else may have an answer to that? But
I just want, for those parents listening, I just want them to have information. It's not too late, because FAFSA is the form that you fill out to get federal aid or aid for your child to go to school.
I always, how I remember for my own child is Valentine's Day. I always made it my goal to have it done by Valentine's Day. Yeah.
And then for those parents, and Barbara, you might answer this question as well, for those parents looking for financial aid outside the traditional system, like scholarships, any suggestions on where they could look? Absolutely. And if you don't have it, let us know and we can put it on the web.
That every counselors, I know that there's been expansive work with Ruth Turner, her team, to get counselors more involved in scholarship opportunities. A lot of the schools have college career centers. I know we do. We work with U of R on that. I think the answer is actually found within the schools, and that's work that our counselors are really working towards. I know that's happening across the district to be a little bit more inclusive of those opportunities. And I would start there, but Barry, you may have a different answer to that. Okay.
You know, because regularly what us parents hear or what people hear is there are a lot of these grants and scholarships that aren't applied for. Nobody applies for them, particularly in communities of color. So I would encourage, as Dr. Nelma suggested, to reaching out to your counselors. Sometimes, you know, let's just be honest, sometimes they wait for the student to come to them. We would encourage our counselors to go to the students, even those students who you don't think might be interested in it. You'd be surprised. Many of our students are. And I just want to encourage that dialogue. This is the time to have that dialogue.